Hello, my name is Christopher with Shop Wild Things. Most of my friends call me CD for Confused Daily. My goal for this video is for you not to be confused when you go to put this together. Today what we're going to be doing is putting the item number 183038 black chandelier stand together. And as you'll see behind us, we'll talk about the tools and everything that you'll need for the setup. This is a one-person job. 2 people is great, but my goal is to make it as easy and as painless as possible, and we'll go everything that we need to do to kick this off. All right, let's go. As we're about to unbox this, the one thing you're gonna need also as a tool is going to be a nice sharp razor knife. Scissors will work. Be careful when you go to do this because we don't want you cutting yourself. When you get your products, they will come exactly like you're looking at. You'll go ahead and realistically, you'll just take your box cutter, cut these open, you'll cut these off. And again, when you go to slice down the centers to cut the tape, be very careful because we don't want you to scratch your product. It is painted nice matte black. We don't want you to have to touch that up. So we'll get into the cutting portion. Pull along as you're cutting it open. Most of them, and I want to say most of them, are all upside down. So in the event that if you do scratch yours, you won't be able to make too much damage. You got a nice little handle that's here for when you go to grab it to help you. You'll see the up underneath portions where the bevel edges, so the nuts and bolts will countersink. These 2 here are your anchor points that if in the event that you do decide to anchor this into the ground or stake this outside, you can go ahead and use these as anchor points. Those are sold separately at your local hardware store, whether you're going to put them in concrete, decking, or outside on the landscape. That's what these 2 holes are for. Let's go ahead and get this together. Alrighty, as we go to cut open this box, again, be very careful. You don't want to scratch your product. My recommendation, to start in the middle, lift up, always keeping that knife away from your fingers, and just nice and gentle, pulling away at the box to keep it up so you're not scratching everything. As you'll hear, I'm pulling on it. So again, try not to scratch your product. And again, come to the other side, pulling it nice. Once you go to get your arms for the chandelier, you're gonna get 3 pieces. The very first piece that we wanna grab is this one with the big flat arm that's on it. This is gonna be our very first arm that we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and get this thing installed. Guess probably should have just cut this part off. And we'll pull it off that way. Alrighty, so now we got our beveled end. You'll notice this is again the bottom side. So we're gonna go ahead and flip this over. This is the top. You'll go ahead and you'll take your nice clean bolts and nuts. You got lock washers that are all here. Just push them out, push them aside for right this second. And this nut that I'm undoing, this is the 5/8 nut that you will need. And then of course, this is your 6mm, either you'll use a socket cap or an Allen key. Either one of them will do, nice and simple. Push this up like so. Easiest way, just by holding it. Start with the first one. Washer, lock washer, and then your nut. Once you get it hand tight, go on to the second one. Push that bad boy through, just like so. Again, washer, lock washer, go figure, and nut. Hand tight those on real quick, and then go ahead and grab your tools. Again, Allen key or socket. This is the part where you want to make sure it's nice and tight. This is your base. You want to make sure everything is secure. Probably want to make it like gorilla strength. Don't need to go Superman strength, but you do want to make sure that there is no play in this. I'm spinning it from the back, doing that because I don't want to scratch the paint that's here. So you'll notice I'm just holding this on right here. But again, from the back side, I'm doing all the work. Just like the wizard, you don't see any of that stuff behind the curtain. All right, once you get this together, if you don't have any carpet or padding, I recommend you go ahead and still hold on to that box so that way you're not scratching this up. You can go ahead and place it down on that box. By doing that, you keep your paint nice and clean. And the next step is you're gonna go ahead and you'll unscrew the nut and the cap that's from here. Try not to drop your nut. And then you'll take your second arm that's out of here. The easiest way to know what your second arm is, it's the one that that's got the two wrenches that are included in this. And then of course you have a third arm that's got a hook. Well, that's your last piece. So the one with the wrenches on, that's the next one. Nice and simple. Pull this off. All right, once you go ahead and discard your wrappers, again, you go ahead and just take it, snap it in. You got a little snap ring in here. Just push it in, listen for it to click. Once it's clicked, there we go. We're gonna go ahead and take our nut and our washer and our bolt. Go ahead and make sure you get this right inside, just like so. Once you get it in, take your rubber washer, take nice and easy. And this is, again, the most important part, because if this is too loose, the whole thing's gonna swivel, and we don't want it to swivel. Same principle as I did the bottom. Nice and easy, put it over. Take it, your 8mm hex key, and just nice, doesn't need to be Superman strength, but it does need to be gorilla at least tight. Once you've done that, pull your tools back out, and you'll notice, don't have a whole bunch of play in there. We do want some movement in it, because the chandelier is gonna sway, whether you have your AC going, if it's on an outdoor venue. So again, a little bit of play is good. Don't want a lot of play. Now, before we take the third piece, we'll go ahead and we're gonna make sure you pull this forward, and you'll notice we got the nut and the bolt that are still attached. Go ahead and take these out. This is where having that second person does come in handy, but it's not required. Take that, separate it for a second. Don't discard it, you're gonna need that. Go ahead and pull this one out, just like so. And there's our hook. Same thing, push this forward. You're listening for that snap piece again. Once you get it nice and snapped, there it is. That's the noise we're looking for. Take your nut and your bolt, push those through. Now this is your 13mm. This is the one that you get those two wrenches with. So we're gonna go ahead and put that there for just a second. Come on back. We're gonna grab those two tools and we're gonna tighten them up. If you don't wanna use those tools, you can use your own. Again, doesn't have to be Superman tight, just enough so it doesn't come apart. This is all about keeping the chandelier together. Nice and snug. Again, not over tight, no play in there. We're gonna go ahead and push this back. That is, go ahead and getting it all together. Last part to do, hang a chandelier. So the last but not least, again, if you're by yourself, easiest thing to do while you still have it on cardboard, just tip this down. Yeah, you can get a ladder. You can get some help if you need to. But if you're by yourself, nice and easy. You'll just go like so, and you'll just walk it back. It's gonna pull it up. You'll start to see it, let it pull, and then come on back. Then you go ahead, and there is your chandelier. You go ahead and get the parts all out, and you're good to go.